Bradley gets to his spot, on-point pass, step in rhythm. Tell you what, the Lakers, they're fighting.
And you mentioned this earlier with Avery Bradley, sprinting to open space. He did it again, going away from the ball.
Leonard gets away from the defense, barrels into Davis. Offensive foul on Kawhi Leonard. That's his second personal.
That's why I like the timeout by Doc Rivers a couple of minutes ago, because he's trying to send a message to his team. We're playing against two superstars that can take over the game at any time. We are allowing them to hang around, and give the Lakers credit. They have done just that.
And another offensive foul and another technical foul. The offensive foul is on Danny Green, his third.
And the technical on Danny Green. And again, I don't want to harp on this, but I do. Danny Green is as respectful.
Hey, Coach. Ball.com. Making this push to the playoffs was really difficult. Even completely at full strength. What is just the message to the team about potentially having to do this? At least in part without Zion.
I think the main thing that we've got to keep in mind is that as I said, we had a stretch where we did well before Zion became, from a health standpoint, able to play. Obviously that we would love to have him here, and we would love to have him for every scrimmage and every game. If he is not here, then we have to have other guys step up. We talk about it all the time. It's next man up. And we have a deep bench, as we talked about before. We have a bench that's deep. Obviously, those guys are going to have to step in, and they're going to have to play, and they're going to have to play well.
Hey, Coach, this is Will Giller with The Athletic. How do you think you guys are just going to handle the minutes overall in the scrimmages? Are you going to try to ramp guys up, as the games go along, or do you think you're going to try to play, regular minutes?
No, Will, I think we'll definitely ramp guys up. There's going to be guys that play less minutes in the first scrimmage than they are in the second or the third or the fourth. We're not going to play anybody out there 30 minutes in a 40-minute scrimmage. So the first scrimmage, I think you'll see a lot of different lineups out there because of the minute restriction that we're not really restriction, but just as the number of minutes that we would be playing guys during the first scrimmage.
Hey Alvin, this is Rod Walker with the Times-Picayune Advocate. Someone posted a picture today of just a setup of the bench area. Will that make any type of difference? Or how will that affect your coaching, if at all, as far as just the spacing I saw between the seats and all that? Does that make a big difference or not really? Or?
I think it'll be an adjustment. I don't think it's anything that we'll worry about. We'll still be able to communicate with our guys. It's going to be a little different setup, altogether, even for the coaches. But, I think at this time right now, as I said, the other day, everything is new to everyone here. This is not anything that's an adjustment on anything. No one has ever been through this. So we will make the adjustments from the standpoint of social distancing and things like that, but we'll still be able to communicate with our guys. I don't see that as a problem.
Hey, Coach, it's David again. Are there any benchmarks that you have for tomorrow, things that you just would like to see in these guys' first opportunity to hit the court as a group against another team? Just some things that you have as benchmarks or highlights?
I think the biggest thing that we have to do is that we have to concentrate on keeping the ball out of the paint. So one of the top number one things will be dribble penetration. Try to control the dribble penetration of Brooklyn, and then from there, we'd like to see some things offensively as far as spacing and ball movement and things like that. But the big thing that I'd like to see is that we've got to be able to sit down and guard the ball.
Hey, Coach, I know when a new season starts, your juices probably get to flowing a little bit, but does tomorrow sort of feel like that a little bit? Or?
I think what tomorrow is that it's an opportunity for our guys to play against somebody other than a player across from them that has Pelicans on their shirt. And I think right now, after going through the 2 weeks here and then the workout at our place where we couldn't really play or do anything at all, I think they're just looking forward to just competing against another team and seeing where we are.
Alvin, Brett Martell with AP. For the 3 first-rounders, I realize that, what are you laughing at?
Because the referees are going by giving me all kind of grief, okay? That's all.
I realize we don't know if Zion's going to play yet, but I'm curious about the layoff in terms of whether you saw the potential for it to have the effect of a mini off-season where they could look at how their rookie game so far went and really analyze what they needed to improve on and take some time to work individually and come back almost like a second-year player in this. And now that you've been able to see at least Nikhil practice a bit, Jaxson, I mean, how?
Well, I still think that, even playing the 60-something games that we played, we still have a pretty good handle on the areas where they need to get better in. Obviously, the whole situation with, the maturation of your body and the transformation of your body from a teenager, to a 20-year-old and then a 21-year-old, that's going to, in itself, make them a little bit better player. But we just have to continue to understand that growth is going to be there. But, this is an unusual situation, but we still have an opportunity to pretty much understand what needs to be worked on and how they need to get better.
Could you maybe give us any idea of what your hopes are for the level of contribution that Jaxson and Nikhil could make in these 8 games?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, obviously we won't know that until we actually get into the games and start playing and the adjustments that we'll make and the number of minutes that they're going to be able to play. So I think it's important to understand that we like both of those guys and we think that they're going to be really good players. Obviously, we think Zion's going to be a really good player. We've got some other guys, very young players on our team, and Lonzo and B.I. So we think we've got a very good young nucleus of players. And I think the thing that I've tried to say to those guys, if it's something that doesn't happen overnight, that still doesn't mean that you're not going to be a really good player in this league. You just got to give it time to happen.
Hey, Coach, it's Andrew from ESPN. Just kind of looking back from getting into the bubble until now, is there a guy or maybe 1 or 2 guys that have kind of stood out and maybe as most improved, or guys that you're really looking forward to seeing on the court this week?
I think that Nikhil has had some really good practice. He had a really good practice today. I think Frank has had some good practices. Jaxson has been very active. Our veteran guys, obviously JJ and Jay and B.I. and those guys have been real solid. And each one has had his days, where he's shot the ball extremely well and done some good things. So I don't think it's one guy that have jumped out at us, but I think it's a combination of guys having good days and playing pretty solid, and that's what we kind of expected when we got here.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you guys. Good talking to you.
She'll be coming in here, so we're just confirming. So we'll be here shortly.
Jaxson Hayes will be up momentarily, everyone. Oh, let me change that camera real quick. One sec, guys. There we go.
Big man in paint.
All right.
Hey, Jax, this is David Grubb from the Bird Rights. One of the things coaches talked a lot about is being able to protect the paint and defend the rim. That's something that you had a struggle with at times this season. How much of has the coaching staff worked with you on that? And have you, how much of a help has Derrick been in having you get accustomed to NBA defense?
I mean, I wouldn't really say I had too much trouble with that. It was just picking up the fouls and being in the right spot, which Derrick and the coaches helped me with a ton. Being in the right spot, knowing what blocks to go for, just stuff like that.
Hey, Jaxson.
Favors?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was Derrick Favors.
Hey, Jaxson, this is Christian Clark with Ball.com. I saw yesterday that, of the 350 players or so tested in the past week, no positive test results. What have you just thought about your first 2 weeks, on campus? Do you feel like, the plan that NBA's put together, do you feel pretty safe just being out and about and living on campus the past 2 weeks?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're all getting tested every day, so if someone has it, we're going to find out. And, I mean, no one really ever gets up too close to each other except for guys on the team, so which is really good. So just little stuff like that makes it feel a lot safer.
Hey Jaxson, it's Andrew from ESPN. What have you kind of seen from Nikhil inside the bubble and since you guys have been able to work out? Obviously, right before he had got sent down, got the wrist injury, so things were kind of up in the air for him. But what did you kind of see from him since you guys have been in Orlando?
I mean, Nikhil's always had this confidence and always been able to hoop, so it's nothing really new. At least I've seen. He obviously he's expanded on his game, but Nikhil is still the same bucket I've known. He's out here making good plays, making smart passes, just trying to get better, just trying to grow, listen from all the guards and stuff like that.
Do you think his confidence is a little bit higher? Has that grown a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think his confidence is a lot higher.
Hey, Jaxson, the other day, Coach Gentry kind of described the whole bubble as like a giant AAU tournament or something like that. Do you see any similarities in? Does it kind of remind you of your AAU days at all? And if so, how so?
I mean, most definitely, it reminds me of AAU. Just all these teams being in a hotel, being around each other for like a period of time where you're just playing basketball. I mean, it's always gonna feel like AAU for me. AAU was like 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago almost. So I mean, it feels almost the exact same.
What's up, Jaxson? This is Will Guillory with The Athletic. How much have they walked you guys through what the game day experience is going to be like as far as being in the arena with no fans and how you guys got to sit apart and all that kind of stuff? How much have you guys been made aware of that, and what are you expecting from the game day experience? I
mean, it's obviously going to be a lot different than anything we've ever played in. I mean, because at least AAU, you're allowed to have fans and other people are allowed to show up. But they told us like they're going to do some put some screens behind the bench and let our family and stuff be back there, which should be nice seeing them just behind the bench and stuff like that. I'm just really excited to see what happens.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot, Jaxson. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.
Oh, yeah. Race is ready.
Looking at your camera.
Hey, Sindarius, this is Andrew Lopez from ESPN, man.
How you doing?
What has this process been like for you this year, being in the G League, trying to work your way, back to get an NBA spot?
It's been a roller coaster, man, but it's been an experience. Just going through it, just taking everything that's handed to me, and accepting every process I have to go through to get back. But more physical, I think it was more mental for me. I think it was just time that I needed to get to a mental state and prepare my mind for the game and for everything. It's more so physical. Can they hear me? I don't even know if they can hear me. Oh, okay.
What's up, Sindarius? This is Will Guillory from The Athletic. What was it like just to get the phone call from the Pels before the bubble, and what's it been like just being involved in these practices?
It was dope, man. It was like, it was like like the weight off my shoulders was gone, and like a sign of relief. I was going through it, and having to think the process through of potentially having to go overseas, and if I want to go overseas or if I want to wait for everything to start clearing up, just having to even think about that process was kind of getting stressful for me. So just to get that call was just like weight lifted off my shoulders, and it was like the first time I smiled in a year, just to be back around guys and playing with guys, and just back competing.
Hey, Sindarius, this is Christian Clark with NOLA.com. You were on the South Carolina team that knocked off Duke in 2017. Have you talked to Frank Jackson about that game at all or anything like that?
Yeah, we talked about it like last week maybe. We was chilling, like playing the game or something, and we talked about it a little bit, and it wasn't really much to really talk about, but yeah, we laughed about it a little bit, and I just told Frank, like, I remember Frank because towards the end of the game, when the game was kind of over, or in the second half, I ain't gonna say the game was over, but when the game got kind of hard, only people I remember still attacking and still trying to get the team to play hard was Frank and Grayson. Those was the only two guys that I could remember, like really still trying to get guys to play hard, still get guys to attack. And Frank was one of those guys that I remember still like attacking, still trying to get guys up and going, trying to win the game.
Hey, it's Andrew again. Two questions. One, what are you trying to focus on to help you try to stick back in the league now? Is there anything like one particular part of your game that you're trying to make your calling card? And then second, how grateful were you for the chance to, or how much were you looking forward to trying to latch onto a team and get in the bubble and kind of have a fresh training camp to try and make an impression on the team heading into next year?
Well, my niche is definitely just being a defender, just being a lockdown defender, and just coming in and just coming in and giving guys a hard time and making it difficult for them to score and making them having to work, because guys are too good in this league to say you'll stop them, but just to get guys to work hard and try to earn every basket. I think I have a good nature of defending guys and being a good defender in this league, and also just continue to prove that I can make that open shot and I can make that open catch and three, and I can continue to make plays for other guys off the catch. And I'm extremely grateful for the call, for the opportunity, but throughout my summer process, I wasn't thirsty to get a call, or I was just thirsty for an opportunity to play. It was, my mindset was just getting ready and prepared for whatever was next, whether that was getting ready to go overseas or next off season, or even this off season, whatever opportunity it was for me, I was just getting prepared for that and getting ready to get myself prepared to take advantage of it.
Thanks, man.
I appreciate
Great.
it.
Thanks a lot, Sindarius. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Sid. Yes, sir.
This one right?
All right, Will, who's up first?
Hey, Derrick, it's Andrew from ESPN. Where have you seen the biggest growth in Jaxson this year? I know you guys. I mean, you try to work with him a lot, but where have you seen the biggest growth in him?
Man, with Jaxson, man, he reminded me of myself so much when I was younger. When I was a 19-year-old rookie, I think just his athleticism and the things he can do on the court in the air is amazing. But I think the biggest improvement for him is just being that defensive anchor on the defensive end on the floor, and just knowing how to control the paint defensively, and on the offensive end, just being a good screen setter, being able to get out of that screen fast, and being able to put pressure on the rim with his rolls, and being able to finish, not always dunking, but working on different finishes around the rim. And I think he's improved a lot in that area. Talking this.
Hey, Fav, this is Christian Clark with Nolan.com. There have been so many ups and downs for the team this year. Making the playoff push would be difficult enough, even at full strength. But what is just the mentality from this team? What are you guys saying amongst yourselves about having to potentially do this without Zion, at least for a couple of these games?
Right. Right now we're just taking it one game at a time. That's all we're looking forward to. It's just one game at a time. We're in a great spot. Got a great opportunity to make the playoffs, but right now we're not trying to look too far ahead. We're just trying to just stay in the moment, continue to get better every day in practice, and just taking one game at a time. And whatever happens at the end happens. Obviously we're gonna have to do it without Zion. Whenever he get back, we'll welcome him back and be ready. But for right now, we're just taking it one game at a time, just one day at a time, man. Not trying to look too far ahead.
With Zion out, hey Derrick, this is David Grove from Bird Rights. With Zion out, there's really three traditional big guys on the roster with you, Jaxson, and Jaleel. Protecting the rim and rebounding really turned around the season for you guys. Have you worked a little bit more with them? And what are just in practice, what are you guys doing to kind of just reinforce those defensive principles with the younger guys?
Yeah, Jaxson and Jaleel, they do a great job. Just coming up, asking questions, always asking for advice. But, overall, like I said before, we just trying to protect the rim, protect the paint, being able to communicate well on the defensive end. Offensively, just putting pressure on the rim, setting good screens to get guys open. And, Jaxson and Jaleel, they do a great job of that already. They can still improve, but right now they do a great job with it.
What's up, fam? This is Will Guillory with The Athletic. Coach has mentioned a couple of times how much you guys have prioritized, keeping guys out of the paint, protecting the rim. What type of progress do you feel like you guys have made, as far as defensively, just protecting the rim and keeping guys, away from the paint?
That's a tough thing to do in the NBA, but I think we got the guys on the team that can do it. And in practice, that's been the main thing Coach been talking about. That's been the main thing players been talking about, just protecting the paint, not letting guys have line drive to the basket. And as bigs, just come over getting a good contest at the rim, not fouling, hands up, verticality, and just try to make it tough for teams to score. As much as possible, we want to try to make them take as many contested jumpers as we can. And I think we're doing a great job of that in practice, and hopefully it can translate over to the game.
Hey, Fav, Andrew Doak with CBS in New Orleans. We got, or at least myself, I got the first look of the NBA bubble court just with some video today, actually. And I know guys have been talking about it for a while, but have you had the chance to go over there? And it looks like a really sweet setup once we got to see it for the first time. What were your impressions of it?
Have we been over there? No, I don't think we've been over there yet. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't really have an opinion on it right now, but I'm pretty sure we'll see it tomorrow for the game, probably. So then I'll probably have an opinion for it.
No, my fault. I know there's certain guys that have been over there, but my bad.
It's all good. It's all good. Yep. That's it.
Hey, Fav, I got two questions for you. We may have asked you this already, but what are you planning to wear on your jersey? And also my other question, I want to ask you, just from where you're from, what did John Lewis sort of mean to you?
Yeah, so on my jersey, if I can remember, I think I'm wearing Listen to Us. I mean, just more of a thing where I just felt like I wanted to wear something on my back. I didn't want to have anything, so I chose that one. And with John Lewis, I never met him, but heard plenty of stories about him, about me being from Georgia. And he was a great, amazing guy who did a lot of great and amazing things. He will be missed.
Thanks, man.
Yep.
All right, great. Thanks a lot, Faye. Appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.